Hey everybody, how are you? It's me, Daniel, your favorite person in the world. Oh, please, hold your applause. I've got a message to give. And we are here with another week of 514 Kids Online, and I'm so excited to see you virtually, that is. And I can't wait to see you in person, hopefully soon. But all month long, we've been learning about gratitude. Gratitude is letting others know you see how they've helped you. And so I have a question for you. Have you guys ever heard of the phrase, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit? I know you've probably heard me say that from time to time. I know I have heard it growing up. It's kind of like this. If you have two candies, one that you don't really like, right, like these chalky Smarties, and one that you love, like these Starbursts, it doesn't matter which one you get, we're supposed to have the same attitude. And that phrase fits in perfectly with gratitude, right? Gratitude is letting others know you see how they've helped you. It's understanding that what we get and being thankful for those things. And that fits perfectly with our bottom line today. It's all about adjusting your attitude. Okay, I've got a story from the Bible that's all about how we come across, how we act when things don't go the way that we expect them to. And it's actually found in Matthew 20, verses 1, right? I'm gonna start off with verse 1 right here. You ready? This is the story of the workers in the vineyard. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who owned land. He went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to give them a usual pay for a day's work, and then he sent them into the vineyard. So there was this man, and he had a lot of land, and they grew grapes, and they farmed it, basically. And so he would go out, and he would find people that needed work, and he would say, I will pay you the normal rate for the day if you go out and work in my land. And they agreed to that. So they go out very early in the morning, probably like 6 a.m., right? When you're groggy and you got those sleepy eyes, right? Your eyes are all swollen. And they went out and they worked hard. Well, about 9 o'clock, it says, in the morning, he went out again. He saw others standing in the market doing nothing. He told them, you also go and work in my vineyard. I'll give you the usual pay for a day's work. And so they went, right? So he's got his first group, probably like 6 in the morning, real early. A few hours later, he saw that there was more work to do. He went and hired more people. Once they went, he said, a third time he went out again at noon, and a fourth time at 3 o'clock. And he did the same exact things. So at 6 a.m., 9 a.m., at noon, and at 3 o'clock, he went out and told these people, if you work for me, I will give you a usual day's pay for the work. Okay? And they all agreed. About 5 o'clock, he went out and found others still standing around a fifth time. And he asked them, why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing? He said, because no one has hired us. They were like, yeah, we were just waiting to get hired and no one hired us. He said to them, hey, come work in my vineyard. So he's hired people 5 different times to go, and he's told them, I will give you the normal pay for a day's work. All right, now the evening has come. He's hired so many people at this point. The owner of the vineyard spoke to the person who was in charge of the workers. He said, call all of the workers in here and give them their pay. Begin with the last ones I hired, and then go on to the first ones. The workers who were hired at 5 o'clock came in, and they received the normal day's pay, right? So then the ones who were hired first came, and they expected to receive more pay than the ones who were hired later, because ultimately they did do more work, right? But each of them received the usual day's pay. That's what they had agreed. They started to complain. These people who were hired last only worked 1 hour, they said. You have paid them the same as us. We have done the most work, and we've been in the hot sun all day. The owner answered them like this. He said, friend, I am being fair to you. Didn't you agree to work for the usual day's pay? Take your money and go. I want to give the one I hired last the same pay I agreed to give them. Guys, that story is a microcosm, right? It's a little example of you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You see, the owner of the vineyard, it was his money. He could choose to give however much he wanted, and they had agreed to do a day's work for a day's pay. You see, We shouldn't be so concerned about what other people get. We should be thankful for what we get. God is like the owner of the vineyard. He gives whatever he wants to whomever he wants. And we've been given so many great things. And when our friends get something that we want and don't have, it's easy to get a little jealous or maybe have a bad attitude about it. Like, why don't I have that? Why won't God give me that? But it's time to, like our bottom line says, adjust our attitude. We should be happy with the things we do have instead of the things that we don't have. That's what gratitude is all about. It's being thankful for what you have. Guys, I want you to practice adjusting your attitude this week, because remember, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.